This is the spotting board that was in front of me April the 4th, 2016 for Villanova, North Carolina. The starters, the players off the bench. During a commercial, I may look down and say, oh, I haven't told the story yet. Kris Jenkins and the story there, just a little reminder about the brotherhood with Nate Britt on the other side. Arcidiacono, 4-year captain, grew up living and dying Villanova basketball. Both of his parents, Villanova graduates. And that is the championship board. And that is the guy right there that hit one of the greatest shots in the history of the game. Kris Jenkins.
On April 4th, 2016, Villanova and North Carolina delivered perhaps the greatest ending to a championship game in college basketball history. But there's more than one side to every story.
I don't think anyone would have bought a script had a Hollywood producer tried to sell it to us.
Arcidiacono.
That game is always going to be remembered for 2 circus shots at the end of the game.
It's Page off balance, puts it on. Impossible.
We should have won the game, and we didn't, because my brother made a shot.
Gives it to Jenkins for the championship. Yeah!
It meant as much to me as any other win we've ever had.
We look back through 4 unique perspectives. CBS Sports Network presents 4 sides of the story, 1 stunning moment.
Preparation is rarely spoken about. But if you really love the art of broadcasting, you've got to learn to love the preparation. When I walk into an event, I've done all the work behind the scenes. I've all week gotten ready for this moment. I trust that I'm ready for this.
3, 2, 1, roll.
If you want to do headset on.
Hello, friends. I have the best seat in the house for many of America's greatest championship events. The NFL, including the Super Bowl, the PGA Tour, and the Masters Golf Tournament. For 32 years, I've been living the dream. I've been calling the championship for a long time, but I never really had a true championship game buzzer beater. In 2016, I was at NRG Stadium in Houston, a city that's very special to me. I went to college at the University of Houston. A lot of family still lives there. It's a hometown for me. I walk in more than anything feeling a very, very deep level of appreciation. I was sitting courtside with Bill Raftery and Grant Hill and getting ready for a championship game that would go down in history as one of the greatest ever.
History again about to be made, guys.
All the hard work and sacrifice to be forever a champion.
Talk about coaches and players. It's all about toughness.
There's a bond there. We're a team. We love to be sitting courtside and calling the game with a couple of friends. We're not working off a script. We're extemporaneous speakers. We're observers of something that's unfolding in front of us, so there's no way you could ever know what you're going to say at that moment.
And championship night is underway.
Villanova came into the championship game as one, as a team. This was not about any single individual, driven to try to win the first championship for the school since back in 1985. Villanova had a big lead with just a couple of minutes to go. They were up 10, and North Carolina stormed back, primarily behind Page.
Here's Page. Yes! Oh, wow.
North Carolina's down 3, just outside of 10 seconds to play. They're able to get the ball into the hands of their playmaker, Marcus Page. He's Mr. Clutch. And Page has to contort to get off a shot.
They're going to have to do something from the outside now. It's Page off balance. Puts it on. Oh! Impossible. How did he do that?
Now, had this game ended later on with a North Carolina victory, the Page shot would have gone down in history as arguably the most clutch shot in the history of the Final Four. Little did we know that was about to be usurped a matter of seconds later. With 4.7 seconds to go, we're in a reset. Timeouts called, they're setting up at each end, and total calmness amongst the broadcast crew.
Villanova has one of these end-of-game full-court plays in their package.
As big as the moment was, really at that moment I felt like I was sitting in my living room on a couch with the three of us watching a ball game on a giant screen television. Villanova inbounds to Arcidiacono. As he approaches midcourt, Grant happens to see that Jenkins is the trailer and knows that that's a dangerous weapon, and very smartly inserts one little line. Look out for Jenkins.
3 seconds at midcourt.
Jenkins.
And he delivers the basketball to him, and I say, gets it to Jenkins.
Gives it to Jenkins for the championship. Yes! Villanova, phenomenal. The national champions with Jenkins hitting the winner at the buzzer.
Is it the greatest championship game ever? Yeah, selfishly, I'd like to think it is. I was there to call it. It's on that very, very tiny, tiny list of games that will be remembered as one of the best that have ever been played.
Basically, my family makes fun of me for it. The shrine of Villanova and the shrine of Ryan. I'm Ryan Arcidiacono. I'm a former Villanova basketball player who won a national championship in 2016. So we have my celebration to Kris's shot. You only see me, and I actually really love this picture because you see all the reaction from the cheerleaders of North Carolina. They're about to start crying. I mean, I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, I wanted to win, so. I was a fan first. I loved them just because they were always on TV. They were very good, and both my parents went to Villanova. I think my dad playing football there, my mom going there, and watching all the games growing up. For me to be able to go there, I just loved it. The championship shoes, haven't worn these since the national championship game, and all this stuff is great, and it just brings back great memories. Here's a picture of me passing the ball to Kris in the last shot, and I think there was about 0.3 seconds on the clock, and you can kind of see all the North Carolina defenders being like, please don't go in, please don't go in, and we all know what happened there. The only thing that you can really control in life is how you respond. And for us, the biggest attitude moment of my career and of our careers was when Marcus Paige hit the shot to tie the game with 4.7 seconds in the national championship game.
They're going to have to do something from the outside now. It's Paige off balance, puts it. Oh! Impossible! How did he do that?
Just a classic North Carolina, great five-star player, gonna make a big-time play in a big-time game. After that, we just called timeout. We could have went down in the dumps and put our heads down. We all just kind of looked at each other. We said, attitude, fellas, attitude. Let's run the last play that we know how to do.
Let's train our attention to what Villanova's gonna do here with 4.7 seconds.
I go out there, I see the wet spot on the floor. I try to get the ball boy, the mop, to mop it up.
They're going to clean up the floor where Ochefu fell earlier.
Daniel gets on the floor and starts mopping.
Look at Ochefu just going ahead. This is hey, I did it, so I'll clean it up.
Making sure that the screen where he's going to set it for me is not going to be slippery.
Boy, I could use him around my house.
So the last play of the game is called Nova. Coach Wright put us in the spots where we all knew where we were going to be because we ran the same play in practice every single day.
4.7 seconds. Trying to go length of the court with Arcidiacono.
Basically, I get the ball inbounded. I was on the left side. Daniel's going to set a screen for me, kind of giving me an angle towards the middle of the floor.
3 seconds at midcourt.
Jenkins.
Down at the other end, there was Josh and Phil. Josh was going to set a screen for Phil in the corner. So the first option's me trying to go to the basket, take a shot, take anything, take the best look. And if I'm not open, I look ahead for Phil to kick it ahead as he's getting that screen to catch and shoot it. And I thought it was gonna be me the whole time. I didn't think I was gonna even look for Phil. And I just heard Kris barking my name, and that's the last resort on the play. Even though there's 75,000 people in there, and I only heard Kris's voice. I swear to everyone that I ever tell that all I heard was arch, arch, arch.
Arcidiacono, 3 seconds at midcourt.
Jenkins.
Gives it to Jenkins for the championship. Yes! Villanova, phenomenal. national champions.
At that last moment, I'm running back thinking, oh my God, did that really just happen? And where am I running to? I need to go hug my teammates. I didn't know what to do. It's like one of those moments that you literally don't know what to do with yourself. You've never been in a situation like that where you're that happy. There was just pure happiness on our part, and I think you see the distraught of the North Carolina players, but it was the best game I've ever been a part of and one of the better games in NCAA history.
A national championship buzzer beater for the title.
So these are all big box of my recruiting letters. I kept these in my closet. Haven't looked at these probably since I committed to Villanova. So Georgia Tech, Clemson, Davidson, LSU, Seton Hall, Iowa, Virginia Tech got a lot, West Virginia. I had to throw Florida down and pick Villanova, and thank God I did. We had no clear-cut superstar. We didn't have any one-and-dones. We were just a classic old college team. I think that's the best thing about our team is that we all knew that whether you made it or missed it, we all trusted each other. The last play, we all played our role, and it could have been anyone who made the pass. It could have been anyone who took the shot.
Got the little cab today. Beautiful day. Chuck Daly always said that I'd be a basketball lifer. I really, really enjoy being around young kids and also my assistants. My name is Rollie Massimino, former coach of Villanova and winning the national championships in 1985. Wonderful time of my life.
The Villanova Wildcats are the 1985 NCAA champions, and Rollie's got a title.
No one thought we could do it, but I did.
He brought Villanova basketball into the modern era, and it really brought Villanova as a small Catholic school into a national institution. I became an assistant for Coach Massimino from 1987 to 1994.
Every year, 7 years, like a dog, I made him work. He always was very, very loyal. I really love Jay, like the son.
I look behind me in a Final 8 game, and I hear him screaming. I turn around like, what? He goes, fix your pocket hanky. Having him around to enjoy it as really the mentor to all of us has been a thrill for everybody at Villanova. We've had some success, and we've been able to have him enjoy it. He called me before the semifinal game. He was so upset that he couldn't get there for the semis. He was so sick. He was battling cancer. He is to this day. He's such a competitor. He felt like he let us down. And he said, if you get to the finals, I will be there.
Because that was important. It's important to see Jay, who I brought up since he'd been, 25, 26 years old.
He had a lot of issues, to the point where it was dangerous for him to fly. And that was another part of it. He does some things that he's not supposed to do. It was an incredible effort on his part of the day of the game. Someone said to me, Coach Mass is here, he made it. And that's just another little jolt for us, that was in the heavens that kind of gave us a special incentive that night. It gave me confidence.
I was there. Mike Fratello was sitting next to me, and we were sitting right behind Jay Wright, and both teams were shooting pretty good. The North Carolina player came down on the right side and went up with his left hand. His leg was up in the air like this. He threw it up and it went in.
Oh, impossible!
That tied the score, baby. All I know, I was shaking. I know Mike Fratello was shaking. And then Villanova, they took a timeout. 4 seconds, you got a lot of time. He works on that all the time. You know what I mean? Situations. Ryan Arcidiacono, a little Italian kid. When he came down, he just saw who was the shooter on the team.
3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins.
Kris Jenkins, wow, he had the nerve to shoot the ball when he was past it.
For the championship!
I screamed, I yelled, I jumped. I hugged Mike Fratello, and I couldn't get Jay because he was still confounded. I don't know what the heck he was. I said, what's he doing? He won the game.
I have heard some great stories describing my reaction to Mike. You know, he can't believe that play never works. He can't believe that play worked. He was in shock. You know, no one ever said to me, it's good. I was still thinking, like, we're going to have to check the clock. Roy was right there. And he said, I'm really upset for us, but I'm happy for you. And then it was celebration.
The whole expression that took place was marvelous. It was great for Villanova. It was great for the kids. And I felt so happy for Jay.
As soon as the game ended and we shook hands, we hugged and kind of cried. And, you know, I know he said, I'm so proud of you. It was really heartwarming for me because I know how good it made him feel.
It meant as much to me as any other win we've ever had.
The friendship and the brotherhood formed early, and it's still strong today. I'm Kris Jenkins, a Villanova Wildcat, and I am the brother of Nate Britt.
I guess brotherhood for me is someone that you can always depend on and always count on. My name is Nate Britt, North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and Kris Jenkins is my brother.
In 2007, Kris Jenkins went to live with the Britt family, and Kris told me not only did he gain another set of loving parents, he gained a brother in Carolina's Nate Britt.
The earliest I can remember is being in a basketball tournament, and we played Kris's team.
Yeah, we met when we were 10 years old, and we played against each other in a game that they won. We don't really talk about that too much, but after we met, my parents exchanged information with the Brits, and I started to come up for practices and then tournaments.
When Kris moved in, initially it was a big adjustment. I had my sister, but I didn't have a brother. But once I got used to it, we were pretty much connected at the hip at that point. So this is my room. This is a picture of Kris and I. We got caught guarding each other a few times in the national championship game last year. I made sure I denied him and he couldn't get the ball, so he couldn't score.
All right, so this is my room. This is the room I've had since I was, 11, 12 years old. This shot right here, pinky out a little bit, followed through, full extension, got a hand up, prime time. I always wanted to compete with him. I always wanted to push each other, and that's what we've always done.
There's no cooler way than to play against each other for the first time again in 8+ years in the national championship game.
The two of them talked about this opportunity often, never expected it to happen.
Here's Britt, a three of his own. Nope.
My emotions were all over the place throughout the entire game.
Jenkins driving in, and he's got back-to-back buckets.
Losing to him would have been the worst thing ever.
Towards the end of the game, Marcus took it upon himself to put the team on his back.
Here's Page. Yes! Oh, wow!
We were up 3, and we were in the defense that we call black, which is no 3. So for some strange reason, Daniel Chefu goes for the steal and dives, completely misses the ball. If he didn't dive, all he had to do was stand there and the ball would have hit him in the back. But he dove, and, and Marcus hit one of the craziest shots I've ever seen in my life.
Puts it impossible!
One of the best jumpers in NCAA tournament history.
We call a timeout. Coach tells us the play we're gonna run Nova. Funny thing about it, though, is that I've never gotten the ball in that situation, ever. And I tell Arch, like, they're not going to put anyone on the inbound. Nobody's done it all year. So I really got a chance to be open.
The game's tied. We should be able to get a stop.
3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins.
When I saw Arch dribbling up the court and he pitched it back, my natural reaction is something that I've worked on since, Nate and I were kids.
Anyone who knows Kris knew that when he was setting up to take that shot, it was going in. So, like, as I saw that happening, I knew the game was over.
3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship. Yeah!
Have my balance, 1-2 step right into it, have good feet, and let it fly. If I shoot from the parking lot and I can see the rim, I think it's gonna go in.
Jenkins hitting the winner at the buzzer.
After the shot went in, I kind of just stood there, like not knowing what to do or honestly like what happened or who to go to. It was kind of slow mode and then everything happened fast.
It was such a quick change from we're winning this game to we just lost. For me, it's also like confusion, like am I happy, am I sad? I'm not really sure how to feel yet.
Kris Jenkins is gonna live the rest of his life as a folk hero in the Final Four.
Both of us wanted to win this game, and he came out on top, so I am happy that, he hit the shot to win the game, but at the same time, this hurts more than anything. I remember the game as the game where we should have won the game, and we didn't, because my brother made a shot. So the fact that he hit it kind of made it okay, I guess. When I first got home, my family already had all of Kris's national championship memorabilia up in his room. For me to come home this time and to see all of mine up is pretty cool.
And this year, the confetti is going to fall for North Carolina.
For it to be back-to-back, two brothers in the same household winning a national championship is pretty surreal.
Same type of banner, 2016 here, 2017 over there. It's great to walk past my room and then look in his room and see that he has a national championship too, because we stole this one from him.